Hi everyone, welcome to Walk the Talk with Bulbeer. Today I have one of the most gorgeous women I know, Sonali Bhagwati from Partner DPA. Hi Sonali.
Hi, Bulbeer. Thank you. Thank you so much for your wonderful words and thank you for having me on this.
Thank you for making time for Walk the Talk. I'm really looking forward to this one. And as usual, you look stunning in whatever you wear whenever you come to the show. And I'm like, oh my God, today was like a very, very critical time for me to get ready. And I'm like, I have to stand next to her. I have to take Sonali's interview. And oh my God, I have to be like at least a little bit close to looking, a little tip top.
You're
So
just
that
being very modest.
no, I mean it. I just look forward to seeing you every time because you're always dressed differently and to the point. You're always inspiring me in your fashion. Alongside work, fashion has always been the best when it comes to see you. It's amazing.
Thank you so
And your
much.
winter collection, I must say, is outstanding.
Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. So let's begin. Just a nice, candid, fun chit chat session
Sure.
with Sonali, which I've been really looking forward to. So, firstly, congratulations on DPA, now operational in Dubai.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
So, in your words, we would love to hear of the journey from CEPT days to your first assignment and now DPA.
Coming to CPT, CEPT, was a story in itself because I was 17 years old.
Wow.
I had no idea actually what architecture was all about. And according to the academic background of my family, I was technically a black sheep
Okay.
because I was not very academically inclined. My parents were traveling. I took a train and went to the MS University, Baroda. I did the test, and it was all about physics, math, and chemistry. And I said, "Oh my God, that's my nemesis. What am I to do now?" And then this girlfriend of mine, she said, "Okay, we are just 2 hours away from Ahmedabad. Why don't we just go there?" So we took a 15 rupee bus ticket and hopped onto a bus and went to Ahmedabad. And straight from the bus station, we walked into CEPT. And when I went there, and this is the greatest tribute to my mentor, B.V. Doshi, that as a 17-year-old, I stood there in awe of this beautiful campus and this fabulous space that he had created. I just stood there and I said, not only do I want to do architecture, I want to study right here. And by God's grace, I made it through the test.
Wow.
And there I was. So that was CEPT, and spent wonderful years at CEPT under the guidance of people like B.V. Doshi and Anant Raje, Leo Pereira. They were just very, very good teachers more than anything else.
They're like the icons of
and
the architecture industry.
And we really, I think, imbibed great things from them. And the school itself, the building of the architecture school itself was so inspiring. And I think as we went on for the 5-6 years that we were there, every year we evolved and grew into that space,
Wow.
And it just became part of our DNA. So certain values which the building itself talked about went into our DNA. And they will always remain there because those were our formative years.
Of course.
And there was a whole lot of, different activities that we did. We went on trips, study trips. There was a lot of bonding between the various batches. Each one sort of went and helped each other and in turn learned from each other. So the value was derived not only from the teachings of the school and the curriculum, but also from each
Each
other.
other. That works
And,
even
and
better.
it was, I think, a great place to be. And I will always cherish my time over there.
I'm sure.
Coming into the profession, of course, was a different story. You suddenly step into the real world. And it was something which, I mean, I think it's something which is part of the journey. And one of the first few projects that we got was this house that we were doing in Delhi for somebody who did not like me because I was a lady doing his house. So when me and my partner Sorab went to meet him, he actually expected probably Sorab to be doing the work and me sort of being an add-on to him. Instead of that, I was the one who was doing his job, and Sorab was not involved because we have always been two separate verticals in the office,
Makes
me
sense.
and my partner. I think he didn't like that. And he tried to undermine me in every possible manner. Uh, to the extent that at times I questioned myself that do I know my job? And then I told myself that no, I have studied as much as everyone else. And yes, maybe I did my homework twice and thrice over before I would go to him. But it actually made me stronger. I took all the rubbish for the 2 years that that house went on. But I hung on. I said that,
Took it as
okay,
a
if you
challenge.
are like this, I am worse than you. I will be here. I will make sure I finish this.
I will
And
handle you.
I will so I just hung on, and I took a lot of rubbish, but I just did that job. And at the end of it, I really felt vindicated because he called me up to say that collect your last payment. So I thought that was really sort of vindicating my stand.
Totally.
And it taught me a lot. It taught me more life lessons than architecture.
Absolutely.
So
I was going
being
to come
in the
to that.
profession is all about life lessons.
True.
Architecture we've all studied, we will all grow alongside, but the business of architecture is people, and the life lessons and client management is equally important as architecture.
Of course.
So that is something that you learn only as you go on, because every client is different. Every client has different requirements, different takes, different approach, attitude, and it's a new story. So every time, even today, after being in practice for more than 30 years, when we meet a client, it's a voyage of discovery.
I'm sure. But
And it's nice. It's fine. That's
I'm
part of the
sure,
job,
The thing, what I feel is that we learn so much from, from taking up the client to, finishing the project. It makes us so strong as a person. I'm like, oh my God, I mean, anything and everything is a teaching in its way, whether good or bad. We don't have to take it negatively. In fact, I feel when somebody talks to us in a certain way, we thank them for making us stronger.
So my first that experience was something which I now look back on, and I said, yes, it taught me life lessons, and I'm grateful for that.
Exactly.
So
I'm sure you must have internally thanked him for whatever he did, so that and made you the person you came out stronger for the next project. And I mean, today you're like a superwoman.
You see, learning is a process. It
all our
never
lives.
ends.
100%.
And I think till the day I drop dead, I shall be learning and working.
All of us should be. It's just that positive approach towards life. So, who styles work while dealing with a client when stuck at a point? Saurabh or Sonali?
So in our office, from day one, Shurab and I started working together. I mean, he also is my husband,
I know.
but we started working together about 3 or 4 years before we got married.
Okay.
And we had a certain understanding and a way of working which respects each other, which gives each other the space that individually, as an architect, as a designer, we require.
Mm-hmm.
So we have always been two separate verticals, you know.
Yes.
And I very often bounce off ideas with
Okay.
Saurabh, and he gives me his opinion, and vice versa. But it is my decision what I want to follow and what I don't want to follow. And if I feel there is merit in something that he says that works with me, yes, I would take that on, you know, and I would follow it. So this is something which we have followed through. So if it is following, if it is something in my vertical, then good or bad, I have to deal with it. If there is a problem, it's mine to solve. I cannot dump it onto Saurabh. The first project which I just talked about, Saurabh did come and offer that if you are, you know, he's really
Tough.
he's really not a nice person,
Okay.
and if you want, I can take this over and, you know, spare you the agony. But I said, no, I'm going to do this because, you know, I cannot be giving up so early in life.
Correct.
So, so similarly, the same thing has followed today. I mean, each one of us has tons of problems. I mean, in the sense that this every project has problems, every client has problems, but it's for us to deal and sort it out. You know?
Correct. Correct.
And we do not want to dump, but when it comes to obviously taking the accolades, also then it's the same thing. And I cheer for him and he cheers for me.
That's
So
lovely.
it's really a partnership in true sense.
Perfect. So tell me about your projects that you love working on, something that you look forward to as being ticked off on your wish list.
You know, I have always been involved in boutique projects and more of the interior work in the office. So I would say I deal with the boutique architecture and all the interior.
Okay.
A lot of the boutique architecture is also building and the interior together, you know. And they're all the smaller projects which don't exceed maybe 20, 30, 40,000 square feet of space, you know, not more than that. And they are all, I would say, more design intensive project.
Okay.
I always tell the client, I mean, even when we are doing a home or even, I always tell them that, especially when we are doing homes, that I said that, you know, I look at it as if it's mine. And everything that I feel has value, I'm pushing it onto you. So trust me on it, you know. I mean,
Of course.
And fortunately, I have had clients who've trusted me and we have delivered things which have worked very well for them. So I think idea is to invest yourself
Correct.
into whatever you're doing. And if you're invested, then you will see it through, you will follow it through and make sure that it reaches the end where the way you want it to be.
Correct.
That's important.
100% agreed.
In fact, whenever I go to even any of the homes that we've done, when I go, I start putting things together. I said, no, let's move this off. Let's do this. Let's reshuffle something. I mean, even when I go to a client's home whose home we have completed maybe a year or two ago, I suddenly see our art. I go to an exhibition, I see something somewhere. I take a picture, send it to them. I said, I think we should put it over here.
Oh, wow.
Because
That's
I
so
just
sweet.
feel so invested in all our projects, you know.
And that's amazing. Even after a year or two.
Yeah. For me, it
that's-
doesn't matter. The
that's
fees
so-
have been given,
Oh my
paid,
God,
finished.
that
It
is
really
so-
doesn't matter.
That is such a kind heart, I must say.
But I do it because I want to do it.
And it's your passion. I think
Then
it's,
I want to continuously see it improve.
lovely.
You know,
that's such a beautiful
and
thing.
that's what I think is important, to be passionate and invested in your work.
Totally. What, as per you, are the larger roles and responsibilities of architects and designers, and the biggest challenges that you all face?
You know, I think what is really important for us architects is to educate our clients, to guide our clients in the right direction. When it comes to little things like on a larger front, I'm talking about sustainability, caring for the environment, caring for energy. These are very basic issues. And I think guiding them in the right direction and doing the right thing demonstrates your responsibility, not only to the client, but to the profession and to the environment as a whole. That is really important to us as a company. We don't talk about it, but we follow it through, you know.
Correct.
Because according to me, it's something which becomes a part and parcel of your approach to any design. And I don't think it's something to even be discussed, because it just needs to be done, you know. So that's one of the things. And second thing that I, as a responsibility to the client, what I would do is use their money to get them value. I mean, unfortunately, there are a lot of people around me where the aim is not that. There are different aims for different people, which I cannot comment on. But for us, idea is that if you have X amount of money, how do I get you the best value in that? And that's what we aim for, you know. And that value is derived not only with design, it's derived with value engineering, it's derived with operations, and on many fronts. You look at the whole thing holistically and give them value. Now, that value is not a tangible figure or an amount sometimes, but it is there sometimes in form of wellness, sometimes in form of environment, sometimes in form of sustainability, sometimes in form of operations cost. So it comes in various forms. And that's really where I think I pride myself, and we as a company pride ourselves as an approach and as an attitude to the profession and to the client.
Superb. I love the fire in you, man. This is amazing. I'm inspired. Really. I'm just looking at you in awe, like, oh my God. You can really, you're so passionate about what you're doing.
I've always called my office, my profession, my first baby, you know?
Of course.
Because they came first. My kids came later. So this is my first baby. And the more you are invested, the better it becomes.
Absolutely. So seeing your passion and your your enthusiasm towards your work, I'm sure that there must be so many who are inspired by you. So what is your message to them? The upcoming designers and architects, etc., who I'm sure, those who are following you are the ones who how you never were interested in a subject and you've gotten into it. Seeing your passion, I'm sure there must be quite a handful who have got into design because of you.
Well, I would be extremely flattered if somebody got into this profession because of me.
I'm sure.
I would consider that as a compliment to me, and I would be flattered. But what I would like to tell any young upcoming designers or aspiring architects or designers is that architecture, this is what my professor told me, and I repeat that architecture, like every other profession, is 99% hard work and 1% design. You need 99% of hard work to realize perfectly the 1% of design.
Wow.
So that there is no going away. There are no shortcuts in life.
100%.
The more you work, the more you put in, it will show. It will reflect somewhere.
Sure.
So, unfortunately, there are a lot of people who do take shortcuts. I mean, there are people who rely on, I mean, for us, I consider, this is what I was taught by people like Doshi, that drawing is your language. So when you do a project, everything that you put into a drawing speaks what you have in your mind. You don't need to talk. Somebody who sees the drawing needs to understand what you have in your mind. So everything needs to go into a drawing. And today I feel a lot of people do not draw. They rely on, like some pictures, or they rely on a 3D render to just produce the end result, And that, I think, is not right. You have to learn to draw. And I also feel that we grew up developing a design by doodling.
Okay.
We doodled, we sketched with paper and pencil, which today can be replaced electronically, but there is no getting away from the process of freeing your mind to think and not get bogged down by parameters which are limited by technology.
Correct.
Because your mind is a free bird.
True.
Let it fly.
Fly in all
I mean,
directions.
if you're using a software which only allows you to draw in a certain way, do not let your mind get constrained by that. Think beyond and use technology by all means, because today we cannot live without that.
True.
And we can do 100 things which we could not do at that time, But use it for the 100 things that we can do, but don't let your mind be constrained.
True.
So that is another very important thing that I would like to tell people,
Superb. Sonali, what is your saying for Ace Tech? What would you like to tell us? What is your feeling about Ace Tech?
I have been associated with Ace Tech for I don't know how many years, because it also gives me a lot of age. But I have been at almost every Ace Tech. I think barring maybe one or two when I have been traveling. So I have been there every year. I have walked with one of your very, very sweet team members who has very kindly walked like many kilometers with me and taken me around. What I really like, that it's a true trade show, okay? So what is really nice, which I look forward to in Ace Tech, is every year you have different exhibitors coming in with lots of new products. And these are building systems, products, materials, a whole lot of things, ranging from a product to a system to an installation to anything. And I really like it's education for me. So I walk that because I am bettering myself, I am educating myself, and I am creating a database which is going to help me in my profession.
Correct.
So I look at it that way. It's what I call a process of amelioration. Okay. So
what is
améliorer? Is to rise and make yourself better.
Okay, that's a French word.
Yeah. So I look at that.
Wow.
And I really thank Ace Tech for helping me make myself better, for educating me, and also giving me your little team members to go around and looking after me and everything. I think I
Thank
really have to
you.
thank you for that.
Thank you for supporting us from
And
the
I've seen you
conception.
guys grow from like there to
I
like
know.
there. And very
Thank
rightly
you.
so.
Thank
Very
you.
rightly. So
Thank
you all
you
have
so
worked
much.
very hard, and you all have given us the professional, the fraternity, access to information. And I value that.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Sonali. I hope you enjoyed, our
Very nice. That's wonderful, Bulbeer. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise, I have learned so much from you. In fact, I've got inspired, by listening to you. I'm like, okay, this profession really needs this kind of passion and love, and invested time and energy to make it where you are today. It's amazing. And I'm wishing you all the best on behalf of Ace Tech. Thank you once
Thank
again
you,
for your
Bulbeer.
time.
Thank you for coming here,
My
and thank you for
pleasure.
having me on your show.
Thank you. Thank you for watching, everyone. See you soon.
Thank you.